Today I got an overview video for a Korbanth SK Rogue Apprentice V3. This is installed with Profi, a 28mm speaker, CC Saber's NeoPixel connector, and a few other things that we'll go over right now. So a little bit about the install for this hilt. This is a custom chassis that I designed for this. So let's go ahead and show it to you guys now. Now this is the design that I came up with for this hilt. You can see that it's got a 28mm speaker that's just rest on that lip that you see in there. A little bit lower on the lower end of the hilt. It just stops there, so the hilt or the what can I say? So that the speaker doesn't like ever try to fly out of there, or the chassis doesn't move or anything like that. I mean, the chassis is a static chassis; it's not gonna waddle or anything like that. But yeah, so right here you can see I do have a board cover. Now this is all printed in versatile plastic from Shapeways. I didn't get this one in any metal material, but I did put some rub and buff on it, made it look a little bit weathered. And it's not the best or anything like that, but it still looks pretty cool. So underneath here, you can see it's literally just the Profi board. Now this board cover does sit on here with magnets, but this was actually pretty snug on there, so I didn't have to put any. On the other side, we have a battery cover. Now, I'm a silly goose. This is supposed to be a door, so the way that it opens, it's supposed to be like this. Like, you'll go ahead and pop it open through here, like so, and it opened like that. But like I said, I'm a silly goose. I after I'm sorry, this is so stupid. After I glued it in here, you could see the hole for the rod. You can see the little hinge here that I have this made out, like for how I have it made out. I completely forgot I had this put away in a little drawer that I have all my chassis parts in, and I just forgot about it, if I'm being honest. But I mean, you could still use it as like a battery door. There's like no issue or anything like that. But this is a personal build. Fortunately, I didn't have to take anything apart, so I'm just gonna eat the cake that I served myself. But yeah, this is supposed to be a battery door, not a battery cover. In this case, is just a battery cover. And it just kind of snaps back into place like that. And it would do the same thing, of course, if it was the battery door. Same thing. I got some aged bronze or aged gold, antique gold for the rub and buff on it. Here I got a kill switch, and of course the battery is removable. The way that you would remove it is once you have that door open and remove this, you can just pop it out through here. Now this is the positive, so once you push it out, it's just gonna pop right out. So just have it on. I'd suggest kind of cupping it on the other side and then just pushing through. So let's go ahead and continue moving up, or moving to the side here. Kind of like I've been doing with a lot of my builds. I got some accent strips here on the side, the 2020 mini accent NeoPixels, and then moving on up, this is the crystal, I guess, quote unquote, because it's made out of clear resin from what I'm seeing, or acrylic. This is the crystal that the kit came with. This isn't the same crystal chamber though. I built this myself, or I modeled it myself, and then I got that printed through Shapeways as well as that top part there. I got some, I guess, prongs or legs or hands coming down and coming up into the crystal chamber there that you can see. And this isn't actually the final product. it's kind of the final product overall as far as the chassis goes. But what I mean by that is the crystal, in the back, you can see some fins that I added there. Um, the fins for the final product are a lot more intricate. They have more greeblies on it. They have more things on it. You'll be able to see it on my shapeways store because the way that you see it now, I mean, they're pretty basic fins. But if you go to my shapeways store, you can check it out after this video or whenever you guys feel like it. You'll see that the final product for the fins is a lot more intricate. Um, and I have an accent pixel sitting inside this to give light to the crystal. Now, behind the crystal, I do have another strip of 2020 accent LEDs to light up the whole thing so that it can just be super bright. Um, and back here, boy, it is a 2-button setup. These do come with the kit, so I just went ahead and used those. Um, and I have a motor sitting here so that that little rod, or I'm not even sure what you would call it, that rod there in the center, it rotates, it spins. It's not crazy or anything like that because I mean it's just that piece that spins. It's not going like around the crystal or anything like that, but it's still nice to see some movement there. It gives it a little bit more life. I think it's pretty cool. It's the first spinning crystal chamber I've done or I've designed. So I'm super stoked about that. I hope y'all like it right now when I turn it on. And of course, here on top, I got some CC Saber's NeoPixel connectors. I don't have them. I have the blade plug in there right now, so you can't really see them, but they're there. Uh, Anything else I have to go over? I don't believe so. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip on the kill switch just so you guys can see how this looks. Let me get the blade here. Just have it nearby. Okay, so I have y'all saw that I have the battery in there already, so I'm just gonna go ahead and flip this over. Um, like I mentioned, this is a personal build, so I don't really have many fonts on here. I think I just have 4 fonts on here actually, but it's just kind of showing you guys how it looks and how the chassis works. Of course, now here you can see, of course, the LEDs just kind of going up. One thing I will say, this crystal that came with the kit, I kind of regret using it. I mean, as y'all can see, it doesn't really capture too much of the light. Everything just kind of goes straight through. If it wasn't for the lights on the back, it'd look a little dull. So if you do plan on using that, you definitely can. If not, you can just go ahead and sand it down, which is what I would have wanted to do now looking back on it. But hold on. If you guys don't want to do that, I did design a crystal, and looking back on it now, I wish I would have used it. But this crystal is to replace the one that the kit comes with. Now, as y'all can see, this is a lot bigger, a lot beefier, because normally the SKs, they have like that very small crystal, and I don't like it too much. You know, it's a lot of room for a crystal chamber like this, super badass, and like you'd want a bigger crystal. I don't know. I feel like most people would want a bigger crystal than that. So I made this so that it can take its spot. And if you guys do want to do that, I will have this in there as well, which is basically that rod, but just short, so that it has enough room for it. And this one will, of course, spin as well. It'll just be spinning like that or rotating. So you guys will have that option if you guys don't want to stick with the original one that's like that long and that small crystal. You always have this option if you really want to change that up. Now, it goes without saying that everything here is optional. You can just purchase this piece if you want, if you just want to have like the bottom piece there. And it'll be completely fine. You know, it'll be exactly the same thing. But the crystal chamber pieces, like the top, the rod, the fins in the back, and the base, that's all optional. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Just enough of me talking. See the blade plug lit up by the connectors. Now I am going to put the grip section on just so you guys can see it. You do get some shine through when you have the grip section on there, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get the the hex key, pop that out. This is a little bit of a thicker hex key that I'm used to, but that's what they have for the setup, so I'm not gonna complain. Oh, give me a second. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. The blade plug was wedged in there a little bit. Okay. Actually, let me twist this a little bit so that... There we go. Sorry about that black little lip there. That's just the adapter that I have for it. I don't have a shorter one, but now I will be sure to print one out. Tighten the blade. Now this does take a 1-inch blade, but as you guys know by now, or the ones that watch my video, this is a 7/8 inch blade with the 1-inch blade adapter that I use just because I like how 7/8 inch blades look better. So let's go ahead and turn it on. See the shine through there. You don't have much shine through, really, if any, on this side, so you don't have to worry about that. But you can hear that this is a really loud Saber. It's got a lot of room for resonance, so it sounds real badass. I don't even have this cranked up all the way. It sounds really good. See the spinning crystal chamber there, the lights on the back going up. And back to Vader. So let me go ahead and remove the blade. So like I mentioned, or like I always mention, this chassis and all these parts are of course, for the exposed crystal chamber and everything like that, is gonna be available in my shapeways store. If you guys are interested, feel free to check it out. The link is gonna be in the description, and also I did want to just talk a little bit about the build. So the main body piece is going to come with the holder for the motor, and the motor is going to sit here right above or inside the top piece for the crystal chamber there. And above that, well, you're going to seat the NeoPixel connector holder. That's not included or anything like that, but I just don't include that because I buy them from CC Sabers, and he includes holders for them. So I just kind of use that one. But any holder will do, of course, that you use. Just try to keep it low profile. That way you have more blade depth in there. So basically what I did, guys, for anyone that's planning on doing this install, this was actually fairly easy. It's not complicated at all. I wired up the board first, which isn't really something that I ever do. But I wired it up. I ran all the wires up here, and all the positive wires that were down here, I bridged them together here in the next section. So there's just like a bridge of positive wires here, and then I ran another 22 gauge wire, and everything else it's connected back here. So underneath this shroud, there's a mess of wires. Well, I'm not gonna say a mess, but there's a bunch of wires. It's just a bunch of spaghetti down there. So whoever plans on doing this build, I mean, you can take that approach as well. But of course, you guys can feel free to do it however you like. I hope you guys enjoyed this build, and I'm really happy that I finally finished it. It was something that I've been meaning to put out for a while, but I never really had the time to actually sit down and do it. So I'm glad I was finally able to get that out of the way. Anything else that I need to say? Not that I can think of. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or just in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all later.